Do we get lots of trains?
Yes.
How do we get our trains?
From the mailbox.
From the mailbox. Do they come in boxes?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, what else comes inside these boxes other than trains? Tell me what's in there. What is that?
Paper.
Do you think we can make a mountain out of this paper that the trains come in?
Yeah.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, these come with the scenery needed to make... Oh, I guess I've already been at work. Today, we're finally tackling the long overdue scenery work needed around the elevated line. And you may have noticed in recent videos, I've been messing around with some scenes around these two tunnel faces. Before, I had just used some colored construction paper to kind of fill in the gaps to get an idea of what I wanted to do around here. But then I realized that same paper has been utilized on other people's layouts. I got the idea from JD Stucks. I was watching one of his recent videos with this massive mountain that he's been building, and you pretty much just crinkle up paper and set a frame underneath it, and in our case, we started trying to paint it to match our existing scenery. Previously, I had been cutting and stacking pieces of styrofoam and then just painting them to look like rock. And that had worked pretty well, but it was kind of tedious work and taking up a lot of space. So when I saw the idea for the essentially crinkled up paper, I thought that might be an easier way to cover more space in a fast amount of time. So my son and I got to working on crinkling up some paper and setting it around the layout just to get an idea of how this effect would work here. What have you been doing with this rock wall?
I did my name.
Oh. Colio?
No.
Oh, I guess that is an N. Okay. After testing stuff out with the crinkled paper from packaged trains that we had, I decided to roll out a different idea. I have a roll of packing paper anyways, so we decided to paint it first and then see if maybe letting this dry and then crinkling up that paper, if that would give a cool rock wall effect. Turns out it did. And it's not perfect, and it's not exactly how I want it to look. I might need to lighten up the shades because as you come around, where the transition is, it's not the worst. But once you get to a certain angle, then it certainly looks darker than the rest of the rock that we have. So I could just lighten up the paint, just repaint certain sections of this to kind of match that. I could just completely do the entire line in this same effect. It'd be a shame to get rid of all the work that I'd already done, but otherwise, it's actually turning out to be a really cool effect and very simple to do, very effective, and it covers a lot of space in a short amount of time because of the larger sheets that we have used here. I might try and lighten things up in general because against the lighter rock that's used for the roadbed, it does stand out quite a bit more than I was kind of hoping, so maybe just a lighter tone for the rock would work out better in this case. I'm also working on trying to figure out what to do with this world-class hole that we have. I wanted to do a bit of a waterfall scene in here, and then I realized it just kind of butts up to the edge of a track with no bridge under here, so I don't exactly know how I'm going to do that, but this is an ever-evolving idea, and it's been a lot of fun to do. Pardon the mess, but underneath there is a railroad lantern literally just holding up the mountain. I don't know if I'm going to keep it this tall. It's a little bit more foreboding than I had kind of originally envisioned, but I'm not sure. We'll see if we keep it. Underneath, though, is definitely set. Again, I have those lines going underneath for engine storage. There's only one active line. The rest is literally just storage that's powered so I can pull engines in and out of there. It makes great use of the space underneath the elevated line. And then as the engines come out, you'll be able to see why I've mostly focused on semi-scale, because if I had full-scale passenger cars, the overhang from those around this 048 curve would scrape the wall here, because these 16-inch passenger cars barely clear it. There's a couple sections where it's even closer. But yeah, things are turning out great. I'm really happy to see the line finally transforming. For so long, the only real put together scenery I had was on the switchyard side of the layout, and it's been a lot of fun shooting things from there and adding more details to it. But again, it is going to be nice to have some variety to our shots. Speaking of scenery, keep an eye out for our June scavenger hunt. We'll definitely be making use of elements with this new scene that we've been working on. Thank you so much for all of your support. Leave a comment down below, any ideas or suggestions. If you like it, if you don't like it, let us know. Stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next one.